everybody. Welcome to the 8th episode of Women Revived. I'm Vimbai Tawengwa. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode, and to all our viewers who've continued to engage with us on our social media platforms, our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. It's always such a pleasure to hear from you. Now, the title of my message this week is Mission Focused, and I'm going to be sharing with you from the book of Luke 2, verses 41 to 49. Now, when we read this account in the Bible, we see that the parents of Jesus Christ had traveled to Jerusalem for the feast of the Passover, like they did every single year. Now, when they left, they thought that Jesus was in their company, but he had remained behind. And only after a day-long journey did they notice that Jesus was not with them. They started looking where they were for Jesus, and they went to places of friends and acquaintances and relatives, and they still couldn't find him. Eventually, they had to go back, and only after 3 days, they found him. And he was sitting amongst scholars and teachers, and he was asking questions and also answering some of the questions that they posed. And the parents of Jesus Christ were amazed at the level at which he was answering questions, because bear in mind, he was only 12 years old at this time. And they were amazed at the questions that he asked as well as answered. And when his mother came to Jesus, she asked him and said, "Why have you done this thing? Your father and I were anxious. We were looking for you." And Jesus was not moved. As you read this account, he says, "Why were you looking for me? Do you not know that I am about my Father's business?" Now, when I read that, it blew my mind away. And I said, this is a 12-year-old boy answering his mother. He wasn't worried about looking for his parents or running after them. He was already mission-focused because he knew exactly what he had come to do on this earth. Now, this challenged me because many times when we are here on this earth, we get sidetracked and sidelined, and many other things are, fighting for our attention, and we end up losing the focus. But Jesus was so focused, he did not lose the reason why he was here on earth, even from an early age. Now, I remember when I was younger, that I was very good with my hands. I loved catering, I loved cooking, I loved doing decor. But I knew from a very early age that the Lord had called me into ministry. But I was very confused because I didn't know exactly how it was supposed to work out, because I kept saying to myself, I know I'm good at cooking and I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I was so lost at that time. But eventually, I got an analogy and I started thinking about what this analogy meant. Because I got an analogy of a person who's being given a vehicle by their father and being sent to perform a certain task. Let's say, for instance, he's giving you a parcel to go and deliver. So the mission is to go and deliver the parcel. Along the way, as you are on that road, you will get to enjoy the scenes and the sights on the road. You might even get to meet people. You might even get money to spend. You can stop by a shop. You can get some refreshments. You can get something to eat. But if you were to come back to your father and say to him, I went and I saw the signs and I saw the scenes, I bought food and did everything else that you did on that journey, but if you didn't deliver the package, he would not be happy with you, because the mission was to deliver the package. But if you manage to drive that car and deliver the package and then drive back to your father and tell him about everything else that happened on your journey, then he would be happy with you and he'd be more than happy to listen. That's the very same thing with our lives right now, because Jesus sends us to earth on a mission, and he knows exactly what the mission is, and he wants us to also know what the mission is. So I started, taking everything into account, and I started saying to myself, the catering, the decor, everything else that's happening, those are the signs and the scenery that I'm going to see along the journey. It's going to be pleasant. It's like the people that I'm going to meet on the journey when my father has sent me to deliver a specific package. So all those things are good because I get to enjoy the scene. I get to have a bit of money in my pocket and do what needs to be done. But the Lord put it so clear to me at one stage in my life to say, all the gifts that you have are just to fuel the passion that is supposed to be accomplished in the mission that I've given you here on earth. So every other thing that I was doing, which was giving me whatever money was coming into my life, it was all mission-focused and mission-centered. And so this is the message I want to share with you today, that do not get sidetracked with whatever other gifts are in your life, the scenery that you will see along the journey, the people, the friends that you meet along the journey. And as you are going in that vehicle to deliver the package, you have to reach the mission that God has sent you for. Jesus Christ knew exactly where he was going. He was about his Father's business. There's a story, an account that someone once told me, that sometimes when you are on a road, There'll be many dogs that will bark and fight for your attention. If you stop to chase one of those dogs, you're going to lose time from your mission. So you need to remain. You have to ignore the certain things that are on the road so that you get to the place where you're supposed to deliver the package so that you can fulfill and accomplish the mission. So I hope that this week you will take into account the mission for which Jesus sent you here on earth. And like Jesus Christ, you can be so focused on it. He didn't let anything distract him. He didn't let anybody take his attention away from what the Lord intended to do. So I hope you are blessed by this message, and I hope you begin to look and say, what is the mission that I'm supposed to fulfill on the earth? And that you run and you stay on that road and let nothing distract you. God bless you. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next time.